An additional goal one may have when performing a crop tree release really has nothing to do with timber necessarily, may not have anything to do with aesthetics, but instead your goals for your woodlot may be that you want to restore that forest into something that is more reminiscent to what these forests look like historically. Before we had what we would call a heavy European influence on the composition and structure of our forests. With that said, generally what we've seen as far as deviations from historic norms is that our forests are more composed of shade-tolerant and shade-intolerant species. And the big offenders there, red maple, black gum, sourwood, those are all kind of our shade-tolerant species. And our shade-intolerant species, again, the big offender there is yellow poplar. Depending on where you are, red cedar might be an issue as well. We generally have more dense forests than we did historically, and we have forests that are composed of different species. So, as a way to sort of promote the development of forests that are more historically aligned with the types of forests that we had here prior to dramatic anthropogenic influence on our forests, could be promoting oaks and hickories, depending on where you are. Promoting oaks and hickories is going to fit the mold in many of our forests here in Western Virginia. But in some of these cove forests, things like sugar maple, yellow poplar, hemlock, even white pine might be making more of have more of a presence today as well as historically. In that case, it may make sense to consult with your local forester, decide what species compositions make the most sense on your respective woodlot, and you could select a cadre or a group of species that would best fit the mold in terms of reflecting or promoting those species that would have been there historically.